Today's cryptid is the gargoyle of Florida. Put it on the board, Anna. The gargoyles of Florida. Hello there, welcome back to Creepy American Cryptids. Today's episode takes place in the southwestern part of Florida, where a terrifying flying monstrosity has been encountered. During this episode, we will explore the area where the monster was sighted, a description of the creature, the documented encounters with this cryptid, and what the gargoyles of Florida may actually be. The setting. The gargoyles of Florida are reported to dwell in multiple areas of Florida. Sightings and encounters with the Florida gargoyles have occurred on lonely roads, backwoods, and swamps. The creature. The gargoyles' descriptions during sightings and encounters are similar in appearance to the stone gargoyles of classic architecture. This creature is reported as having varying heights depending on the encounter, with heights ranging from 4 feet to 7 feet in some descriptions. The monster is also described as having 2 large leathery wings on its back, averaging a minimum of 5 to 6 feet wide each, giving it a 10 to 12 foot wingspan. Additional details vary from each encounter, such as the presence or lack of a tail, beak, talons, or horns. However, all descriptions agree that it is remarkably fast and is a winged humanoid creature. Regardless of the gargoyle's appearance, it is often reported to have red glowing eyes. The encounters. Not only does this monster have a multitude of appearances, it also has multiple motivations depending on the reported encounters. It is believed in some tales of the gargoyles that they fly around the southwestern regions of Florida, hunting for food as evidenced by the piles of dead deer in several reports. However, in other tales, researchers believe that the gargoyles delight in frightening people by attacking their cars and stalking their homes. September 2017. Time to deliver the donuts. A truck driver delivering donuts from Clearwater, Florida to Port Richey, Brooksville, and Zephyr Hills, Florida, reported a strange sight while driving along a dark, desolated, wooded area of the route. The driver reported seeing a floating, hovering mass about 15 feet off the ground and realized it was a humanoid creature in a cannonball position. A cannonball position is when the thighs are tucked against the chest with the arms wrapped around them. By the time the driver realized what he was seeing, the cryptid unfurled itself, spreading out its legs and enormous wings. He described the monster as dark in color, 5 to 6 feet tall, with human-like legs and bat-like wings. As the creature spread its wings and legs, it instantly flew toward the truck at a speed which the driver compares to a fighter jet. Due to the cryptid flying towards the truck at such a high rate of speed, the driver nearly drove into a ditch gripped by fear of the oncoming monstrosity. A half-mile before this terrifying encounter, the driver also reported seeing 2 separate piles of dead deer, with at least 4 deer in each pile. The driver assumed that this was the gargoyles stockpiling food before returning to its lair. With this in mind, it is likely that the gargoyle was attempting to guard his food supply by strafing the truck to scare people away. This encounter was the 3rd reported recent sighting at this time. Several sightings involve the full moon, and a few researchers believe there may be a link between the cycles of the moon and the gargoyle's activity. February 2018. The gargoyle is coming from inside the house. Another encounter involves hearing strange scratching noises on the walls, the fluttering of large wings, and heavy, fast footsteps on the roof of a home. Thinking it was spirits or demons originally, the family had the house blessed with holy oils and prayers, but the strange phenomenon continued. The family reported a large cement block at the bottom of the house had been moved, creating an almost cave-like opening under their home. Eventually, the family witnessed the creature unfurl itself while flying up past the window of the home. They reported seeing the window covered in black on the outside, and realized it was a small part of a large wing going by the window. It then rode off into the air past the house and quickly disappeared. The family was concerned for their own safety and the safety of their pets. These enormous, terrifying creatures were apparently living in a cave under their house. This was the 3rd reported encounter with these cryptids in the area. June 2018. A creepy commute. A person driving to work witnessed a shocking sight during their commute while traveling through Brandon, Florida. A driver explains that they saw a gargoyle flying about 200 feet up, at quite a distance away from their truck. They go on to describe that it quickly flew behind a building and some trees, causing the driver to lose sight of it. Awestruck by the sight, the driver was unable to find the words to alert the truck's passenger to what was being witnessed. December 2019, Cannonball Glide. Another commuter driving through Tampa, Florida relates a similar encounter with the gargoyle. As with the previous encounter, the driver also saw the creature for only a few seconds before it disappeared out of sight. The driver reports that the creature was once again in a cannonball position, but its wings were unfurled. They described that the cryptid was flying, but its wings were not flapping, and it was similar to gliding. Similar to other sightings, the driver reports the beast as being about the size of a large man, with bat-like wings and dark in color. Theories. A primary theory for the gargoyles is that they are simply gargoyles and they exist. It is difficult to dismiss evidence, such as large piles of dead deer, in the same areas where the creatures are sighted. It is also hard to ignore that this cryptid is represented in classic architecture, which leads to the possibility of it not only existing, but for its species to have existed for a very long time. Conclusions. Many researchers believe that the gargoyles are real creatures that still stalk regions of southwestern Florida. This is a sensible conclusion, as the reported encounters described earlier range from 2017 to 2019 rather than decades or centuries ago. However, the overall length of time in which gargoyles have been present in history, architecture, and culture points towards this group of creatures existing and having existed for a vast length of time. We may never know the answers to all the questions and theories posed on this cryptid. However, one thing is for certain: something has and likely is roaming southwestern Florida. So if you find yourself traveling down the southwestern coast of Florida, keep your eyes and ears open. For if you see a quick dark mass darting across the sky, or hear the unfurling of large leathery wings, you may be in the presence of the gargoyles of Florida. If you meet a gargoyle, get out your cell phone and grab a quick selfie. We would love to see it. See you next time, folks.